Hi, I'm Diane Marie Collins, and you have entered the DM Zone. The DM Zone recently went on the road to the Sedona International Film Festival in Sedona, Arizona. We visited with Ed Asner. He was live on stage in Oxymoron, and Richard Dreyfuss in a movie called The Lightkeepers, a wonderful romance set in 1912. We then visited with Ashley Wren Collins and her partner Sean Bennett in a fun movie called Chasing Taste about a film critic who loses his sense of taste and smell. Then Sean Lackey and Kevin Farley were in a fun movie called The Yank about an Irish American who finds out he may not be as Irish as he thinks. Lots of fun, great humor. You really need to see that movie. Also, serious topics were covered at the festival: Alzheimer's, water shortage, peace, and immigration reform. These movies, documentaries, and shorts were Rooted in Peace, Lost Music, The Immigration Paradox, and Slingshot. It was a wonderful time being able to visit with these creators, young, old, it didn't matter. The thing that was similar about all of them, the passion that they felt for their craft. If you've never attended the Sedona Film Festival, the Sedona International Film Festival, you really need to. It is a must-see. It's exciting and fun, parties, movies, live theater, everything combined. I hope you find the time to put it on your list soon. Let's watch these interviews now, okay?
Hello everybody, thanks for being here. My name's Sean Lackey, and the movie I wrote, directed, produced is titled The Yank.
What's wrong?
Let me guess, the U2 exhibit again?
Happy anniversary!
That's right.
Marty and Bernie are getting married in Bernie's hometown in Ireland.
My son is going to Ireland!
Another tuchus on those sacred bass drums? You're fired.
Look, God, idiot.
You're my best man, and she's...
Is me maid of honor.
Oh.
Look, they're Irish. They celebrate anything and everything Irish, right?
Well, it seems he fancies a lovely American girl.
He goes to strip clubs, yeah.
No, I do not.
Oh, and be careful, because he will get pictures of your breast. That's what it did to me.
But his family in America want him to marry an Irish-born girl.
We've got to get him focused on Ireland, and this is not helping.
Guys, what are you doing?
This is Italian food. From now on, no foreign foods in this kitchen until he leaves.
An Irish girl. Excuse me?
You're
Molly Sweeney.
Molly.
You be careful with that one.
What one?
Molly Sweeney. My brother, Declan.
I'll take you on a magic carpet ride to Slab City.
Very backward like that, these American cousins of mine.
Give me a little word.
In Gaelic.
You sound a little German there.
I'm starting to slip in.
Come on, you guys! The gravity bar!
Get up out of that bed. Half the day is over.
What time is it?
It's pretty late. It's 6 a.m.
I haven't seen a thatched cottage yet.
There hasn't been a thatched cottage around here for 30 years.
Sure is beautiful country, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. So, is it true
Is what true?
that you're here to find a wife?
I think you got off to a bad start. But it's just a start.
Look, you Yanks, you come over here and you think this place is like a movie. But it's not.
I just don't understand you. Why do you care?
You're not a bad lad for a Yank.
Quit calling me Yank.
Kiss the Blarney Stone for me.
Dad, I think the locals pee on it.
Brush your teeth after.
What one thing did you personally learn from the journey of the movie?
I learned that I cannot do it all. When you don't have any money, you do it all. You don't have, the luxury of all these assistants and I think sometimes that took away from things that I wanted to do. Say, if I'm acting in it, acting and directing something at the same time is really hard. And I don't know if I think I needed to learn a bit more first about the craft before and I didn't do it because I thought, oh, who, you know, I can do this because it's me and I want my name all over everything. I did it because we didn't have enough money.
And that was one of my questions was, did you plan from the beginning to act in it? Because that's really difficult to do both.
Yeah, I felt more comfortable acting because I did Second City acting and I did improvising, and you know, this was my dream to act with, to improvise with a guy like Fred Willard, and who's, you know, a Second City hero, and Kevin Farley, you know, the Farley family are just amazing people. In fact, Mrs. Farley came, she's in the movie. She came over to Ireland with us, and when we met at JFK, the very first thing she did was come up and give me a hug and said, thank you, and thanks for taking care of my son. And it's like, oh my gosh, we're just a big family. So when you have people like that to support you, you know, you can do it. But directing is very hard, and it's.
I was going to bring you back back to the very beginning. What was that one spark that started this thought? You're Irish. Was that what started it? What thought? I want to go back and see what the homeland. What's the difference? There's got to be a story in there.
Yeah, there was, because my parents grew up on the west coast of Ireland, and my dad was actually from the middle of Ireland in a place called Cavan. So when we went there when we were kids for 3 weeks, for 5 weeks in the summer, we never went to Dublin. And U2 has a song called "Where the Streets Have No Name." They don't have any street signs, and it's all one way. It's a mess. It's like, so my parents were like, we're not going to Dublin, and we were younger, so I never got really a chance to experience it. And you know, my grandparents and uncles and everybody were, so that's what we were there for, really. So when I went to a wedding in 2004 in Dublin, I got to see all this. It was like, oh my gosh, it's every nationality walking down the streets of Grafton Street. You saw all these big corporations that were based in Ireland now that were, you know, companies over in the United States, and there they are, right.
That was the idea. Then you're saying, wait a minute, I want to come back, or I want to do a movie here.
I thought, you know, there's a lot of people that I've met in the United States that have never been to Ireland. You know, they're Irish, quote unquote, but you know, and they have tattoos of mountains in Ireland and they've never even seen it before. And I'm like, how do you get a tattoo on your calf of a mountain and you never climbed it? You never even seen it. And so it's kind of like, come on, it's a bit insane.
The cliffs
you know?
of Moors all over their back.
Yeah, the cliffs of Moor, and I've seen that before, and on their arms, and it's like, have you ever been there? So I thought, you know, let's make fun of that, and let's be. I played the metaphor of the movie, basically, the Irish American, who doesn't know anything about the literature, you know, the James Joyce, the Oscar Wilde, and Fred Willard does just an amazing job making fun of that in the movie, and it's really fun. So the metaphor is me going over there for the first time and going, oh, this is not a scene from The Quiet Man, John Wayne in the 50s. This is Europe. They're part of the European Union, and that's great for them, and we should embrace it as well.
I think it's a really great American story, and I'm glad you told it.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's the thing. I think it touches a lot of people's heart because they're like, oh my God, that's my family. And I've heard that before too. People come up and go, oh my God, that's my dad. You know, he knows every line in The Quiet Man. It's like he built a replica of Cohan's barn in his basement, and I'm like, oh, that's hardcore. So, but it happens. A lot of people recognize it, especially now. March is coming here, and next thing you know, they're going to be dusting off their shillelagh sticks and their caps and getting them out for that once or twice a year celebration.
Yes.
So it's funny. It's a little over the top, and it's a bit of a farce, and I want people to have fun. So yes.
Sean, tell us about your financing process. Well, what was your process to raise funds?
Please.
I mean, was it one of those where it was family and friends, or somebody came in as a backer? Or
Family, friends, people that want to invest. What made a really strong selling point was not only the story itself and all that, but the film credits were just amazing. That you could you could invest something and get 25 to 35 cents back on that dollar. Mm-hmm. And there's another thing, the Section 181 credit in the federal tax code that lets you, if you invested in something, say a $25,000 investment, you get to write off that entire investment, despite the fact it's a passive activity. So if you could write off a $25,000 investment, you know, for a unit, and that would save you, 40%. If you're in the top tax bracket, that's $10,000 bucks, and then maybe you get another check for $7,000, $8,000 bucks. you got 18,000 of your 25 back
Yeah.
before the movie even comes out. And then if you can get these really good actors to be in it, they get some steam, get some distribution, which we are coming out in Ireland March 6th, and the UK. I mean, it's a pretty good sell. So the only thing, the hard part was the film credits are new to where we are.
Yeah.
You know, California.
And what does Ohio have now? What's the percentage in Ohio?
It's 25% for spending, 35 if you hire an Ohio employee or Ohio resident to be part of the crew.
And that's per resident, right? Or the total amount that you spend on?
Yeah, it's not above line and below. It's the total production.
Yeah.
It's the total production, excluding, say, you know, like kind of the promotional and publicity kind of costs. It's all production costs.
But if you do all your local catering, all your extras,
Right.
all, you know, and any of the Ohio actors that I'm sure you use.
Right, and a lot of scenes we would, you know, to utilize that, to really capitalize on it the most, we would shoot a scene over in Ireland, and you know, it'd be like, come on guys, we're going to the pub, and you know, here we are in Ireland outside, and open the door, and we're in a pub in Cleveland, and we'd film that whole scene in Cleveland, and we did with a number of those scenes, so that way we could hire all Cleveland people, Ohio people, and maximize the credit. So, it's a little trick I learned.
Anyone else?
Anyone else?
All right. My favorite one, I have one quick one.
Yeah.
You were talking about Sedona off camera, and I just want to know, what do you think about the Sedona Film Festival?
I know the Cleveland film people, I hope you're not watching. I think this is the best film festival I've been to.
Thank you.
And I've been to the whole summer going to different film festivals, and the people here are so nice. And I think that's the biggest thing of all. Yes, you got the beautiful setting and the great venue, but the people here have just been so fantastic and nice, and they love film, and they love coming and seeing it, and that's really special. I mean, you asked me about what I felt when I saw an audience. That's, to me, seeing a filled house, people looking for seats, can't finding them, helping them try to find seats. I mean, and then smiling and coming up afterwards and wanting to talk, and you know, you can't beat that. I mean, I think that's the best.
We've been toying around this whole week with calling it the Filmmakers Festival.
Yeah.
You think that strikes a chord?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, every night, last night we went to the after party, and people coming up and engaging, and thanks for coming, and thanks for being a part of that. I'm so happy to be here. You got me out of Cleveland and minus 14 degrees. Come on.
Welcome to Sedona.
No, thank you so much. I love it.
There was one here, yeah.
I just want to know, how did you get through your hardest day, and then explain that, and then what was one of your best days that you remember through your process?
One of the hardest days was when it was over in Ireland, and we wanted to shoot. There's a scene where we shoot in a church, and I know Colmini really wanted to get back home, and there was apparently a funeral. They don't like here plan out a funeral, and it's, you know what, we should probably have a funeral, and so they'll go over to the church and have a funeral, and apparently there was this person already had been cremated, and they decided, well, you know, there's some people from England coming over. We're just gonna go in and have a funeral, and we're supposed to start shooting this one scene so he can go home. So it's a little stressful when you don't know when the funeral's going to end, and you have all these people waiting, and people want to leave, and people have to come, and you got to pay people for being there, and I remember calling him. I said, you know, it's a small funeral. It should be over quickly. And he just looked at me and said, well, it may be small, but they could talk a long time. And I'm like, oh no, what am I gonna do here? So craft services, you know, what is he like? You know, any way to kind of stall it out. And there really wasn't anything really super stressful. I mean, that's not that stressful. It was just a funny moment. And of course they rolled with it because they wanted to make sure. I mean, what was that second part? The best day?
And then what do you think was your best day that you're like, oh, this is just, I'm here, I made it?
I think the very first day, when you see all these people there and all this dream you've had for 10 years, all of a sudden they're saying the lines that I wrote on and seeing that and just like, oh my gosh, I can't get out of this now. You know? And I didn't want to because it was something that was, you know, I just couldn't believe it. And the town, there was like a buzz around it, and people were so happy to be there and be a part of it. You know, I'm not really used to like having attention. I mean, this is kind of wild, having all these cameras on you. I mean, I like to be part of the team and represent the team and not out there. So, but there was a lot of that. There was a lot of cameras and people wanting to get involved, and I loved it. So, thanks.
All right. Thank you. Oh.
Could you identify your film by title and your name, please?
Sure. My name's Sean Lackey, and my film is The Yank, and you can check it out at theyankmovie.com. So, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You are incredible.
Awesome. You
And
guys are
welcome.
awesome.
One of my best friends is from Warren.
Warren, Ohio?
Warren, yeah, he talk every time I took him anywhere. He's back home in Kentucky.
I told you you would enjoy those interviews. I had so much fun at the Sedona International Film Festival. And remember, you have been in the DM Zone. Come back soon.